Now let's look at how this case, particularly Stormy Daniels' salacious testimony, has helped or hurt Trump in the eyes of the public. Here are two very different takes. Journalist and political commentator Scottie Nell Hughes and former Democratic Ohio State Senator and neighbor of mine, Nina Turner. So, Nina, what are you thinking about? Is Trump stronger as a result of this, or has he been in any meaningful way weakened?
I don't think in any meaningful way. I mean, this former president has been embroiled in some type of scandal within the political sphere for almost 8 years now. People know exactly who he is, and they know exactly who they're dealing with. I think what the Democrats, my party, is going to have to do is not so much rely on some silver bullet that's going to take Trump out politically in terms of his base. The mega voters are not just going to wake up and say, aha, that was it. We're not going to vote for him anymore. Democrats are going to have to go out and try to win those votes. Now, there may be some fatigue when this is all said and done, and it is those voters who are somewhat in the middle. But in terms of the Democrats thinking they're just going to find that one thing that just upsets the apple cart and Donald J. Trump is done, is not going to happen. He is the king of reality TV, and this right here, he's in his element right now.
Oh, I know that. I was on the last edition of Celebrity Apprentice. I came in second, but so
I remember that.
Thank you very much. But Nina, what do you think? Is he winning so far or not?
Or, I mean, so far, yeah, I think he, I don't know, maybe it's kind of neutral right now. We'll see. I don't think he's being hurt. Now, whether or not it's going to catapult him, I'm not sure.
Scottie, do you have a take on whether it's hurting him or not at this stage? I mean, he has really been dragged through the mud in many ways. I mean, maybe he deserved it. I don't know. What are you seeing? What are you hearing about how Trump is faring through this ordeal?
Well, let me tell you something, Geraldo. I'm down here in Nashville, and I do the typical day-to-day life activities, go to the grocery store, go to the ballpark, go to church, go to schools. 99%, I think, of people outside of the media, unless they're even a true crime watcher, are not watching this trial. I mean, let's just call this more for what it is. It's kind of infotainment, but Nina said the correct word, fatigue. That's kind of, I think, the Democrats' goal with this, to distract from the actual current headlines, ones that I think most Americans do care about, and fatigue, to make those Donald Trump supporters kind of weary and just worn out from hearing Trump, Trump, Trump. This is, nothing new has been introduced by them. There's no new information that is coming out in these trials. In fact, in 2016, it's the exact same information we heard. And guess what? He got elected. When he didn't get elected is when he was focusing on policy points. So if I were Democrats, I think they're actually shooting themselves in the foot with this. Talk about the silver bullet. Get Trump out there. Get him on his policies. Talk about what he did that made Biden get elected in 2020. That would be better for them, I think, if that is their goal, instead of tying him up in this day after day liturgy of a false sham courtroom that I think time and time again it's showing.
Do you have a take? Give us a brief explanation of why evangelical voters, religiously conservative voters, kind of like his naughtiness, or is that not the way you see it, Scottie?
Okay, well, I don't think they like his naughtiness. Remember, we are we like to forgive, we don't forget. We also like to turn the other cheek. But we also realize that when we look to Donald Trump, we're not electing our next pope or our next priest. We are electing somebody that overall will hopefully go along with our values. And those are not something that Joe Biden can easily identify with. The pro-life crowd, we want to talk about women's issues. Pro-life is still a very stronghold within the Republican Party. They understand that when it comes to pro-life issues, despite Joe Biden being Catholic, Donald Trump is a better chance, as he has shown in his first administration, of protecting life. Also talking about school choice, religious freedom, they feel like they're going to have a better chance of practicing that under Donald Trump than they have under Joe Biden. So that is, I think, why evangelicals are still looking to Donald Trump, because he basically holds closer the principles and the values that he wants to protect than necessarily Joe Biden does.
Nina, what do you see? Are they both Biden and Trump just vessels that, regardless of their personal flaws, whether they're leaking or not, are they going to get the traditional Democratic voters for Biden, for example, Nina?
Well, the good book says, Geraldo, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God in some kind of way. But this, I mean, for me, it is I want to go back to, the polling that showed us clearly that voters in this country didn't want either guy. I mean, we kind of forget that. So we're kind of stuck here between these two people, unfortunately, but the voters did not want either one of them. The merits of this election cycle is going to be primarily what it is every single election cycle, despite what Donald J. Trump is going through. The man got more lives than a cat. It is going to be about who turns out their voters.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.